Welcome to the Vocal Lab Podcast with your hosts, Shelby Rollins and Jason Catrone, bringing you the best from the music industry. Get ready for first-class conversations packed with exclusive techniques and transformative insights, all designed to help you reach your top note.
Good morning.
Hello, everyone. Well,
Let's try that again. Yeah. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, Shelby, and hello, everyone out there in Podcastville.
Hello.
What if there was a Podcastville?
Like,
what would that look like?
I guess that people, all they do would be just walk around talking in microphones.
So everyone would have these mics and we're just walking around.
Yeah, just walk around holding them.
And your
And
your conversations
conversation.
would have to be like podcast worthy.
I guess.
Yeah, it couldn't be like
Nothing boring.
Hey, headed to the store, have a good day. You couldn't say anything like that
Yeah.
because that would be too just,
Everything would have
passe.
to have a story.
Yeah, and a point, or at least leading to a point.
I don't know. Sometimes we don't talk about things that lead to a point.
This is very true. Actually, probably half the show is not a point at all.
Well, don't tell everybody that. They're going to start
Well, no, because
turning it
that's
off.
where the fun
I
happens.
know.
The fun actually happens in the pointless. Ooh, I kind of like that. Does that resonate with you, Shelby? The fun happens in the pointless.
I would maybe massage the language. Maybe not pointless. Maybe what's like another word for like lighthearted or
Okay.
not heavy or significant, but like the fun always happens.
Or
in the,
like purposeful.
no, the opposite of that, right?
Oh, because
Purposeful is the opposite of pointless.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It happens where it's not a main purpose to what you're doing. You're just casual. You're just like,
Yeah.
I think you would have to have that in Podcastville, or it would get really boring.
Need like a synonym for that.
Yeah. Well, enough of Podcastville. I think we should introduce our guest today.
How about in Nashville? Here we are,
Oh, well, Nashville.
coming at you live.
I mean, it's basically Podcastville in Nashville,
yeah.
but
Carry on.
carrying on to the land of wonder, beautiful music and vocals. Maybe a stop or two was spent in Oz.
I thought you were going to say that.
Hey, do you like where my mind went there?
Yeah, I do.
Please welcome to the podcast today, the amazing Allison Bailey.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome. This has been exciting. We've been kind of...
Can you scoot this mic up closer a little bit?
You can get it closer.
Or you can scoot it towards you a little bit.
Get a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
right here.
Move it.
Yes.
So we don't miss anything.
Great. We are
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, we can
Hi.
even point it down a little bit if you want.
Oh, great.
There
Okay,
we go,
perfect.
yeah.
I don't know if I
Right
can move
there.
it.
Yeah. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much.
Allison and I met through a mutual friend about a year ago.
Yeah.
And, kind of developed a little friendship through that. And so grateful that you would come be on the podcast today.
Thank you.
I think you're our first. Have we had anyone else from Broadway yet?
No.
We had
We had Mark. Come
Mark
on.
Currian. Do you know
Oh.
Broadway Besties, the podcast?
No, wait. Yes, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
But I've never met Mark. That's amazing.
Yeah, so he's
Yes,
a
he was
friend of
on-
mine from LA.
That episode was maybe one of the funniest ones.
He's
we've done.
hilarious.
Okay, I'm going to
So-
listen to this episode.
You have to listen.
Yes. But you're our first Broadway performer.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, tell us, where did the journey start?
Oh, goodness. Okay, so I am from Pensacola, Florida.
Really?
What?
Yes.
I'm from Panama City, Florida.
No way.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
He's
Yes
from
way.
Jacksonville.
Oh, we have Floridians in the house.
and I'm
This
from
is
Kentucky.
And Jason loves hot weather.
Adjacent, very close. 850.
Yes.
Is that your, okay?
Yes.
850.
Wait, what did
Uh-huh.
you say?
850.
Sorry,
our
the area
Oh,
code.
I thought you spoke in like some Floridian dialect that sounded
Yes.
Norwegian almost to me. I was like,
Hello.
what?
Oh, 850, our area code. I don't think Jacksonville has that. I'm
904.
904. Okay.
But 904, I feel like used to also be Panama City, like a long. I might be making that up, but
No,
anyway.
maybe.
Duval.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
carry on.
No, so I'm from Pensacola. Amazing. So I was born and raised there, and then I went to college in Boston.
Oh, okay.
My parents, honestly, that was like the furthest I'd ever been away from home
I
for like
bet.
a long time. And I think a lot of people were like, pack your bags for 6 weeks because she's going to come back home. But I went there for musical theater. I went to the Boston Conservatory.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know where performing came from in my family. My brother is a pharmacist. My mom's a nurse. My dad is a wine and liquor distributor.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
No one performs. No one does public speaking. But I just fell in love with it. And I talk with my hands a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Here I am at 33 years old and I still talk with my hands. But my mom just saw me singing and dancing around the house and was like, I think she wants to perform.
That's cool.
And that's kind of like how I started my love for it.
Yeah.
Community theater, and then went to Voco. And that's kind of what started.
Amazing. What was your first performance as a kid?
First performance.
Like the first show you were in?
Yes. I was an Oliver.
Oh.
And I was an orphan. And fell in love with that.
That's so fun.
As one does. And then, of course, did, your typical, like, Wizard of Oz, Annie, Little Mermaid, Sound of Music. And it's kind of funny because when I was in community theater, I always was performing at the local community theater with the adults. So I really never played a lead growing up because I was always the younger one. I did Ophelia, and a funny thing happened on the way to the Forum in Zanita and Music Man, but I couldn't play Marion because I was the kid.
Yeah.
So I really didn't have that experience of like leading a show until, college and professional world.
And what was the first lead?
First lead, I was Shelby in Still Magnolias. We love to go back to our Southern charm there.
A lot of people think I was named after that character.
Really?
I would have guessed that probably.
I was not. I was born before that movie came out.
Oh.
So
Okay.
because I'm old.
Who
No,
were you?
you're not, you're not.
Who were you named after? I couldn't say that.
My great grandmother. So this is a big aside if we're gonna go down this road.
We need
Talk
it.
about my name. My mom's turning it up right now. She's turning up the volume. What's she gonna say? So, I was born Martha Shelburne Middleton.
Oh.
The looks that y'all just exchanged.
This is
amazing.
regal. No, it's regal.
It is regal. My mom is a Martha, so, they wanted me to have both my names be family names, but it's slim pickings in terms of really lovely female family names in my family. So, there was not a lot of like great options. There were some strange ones, very strange ones. But anyway,
Who was Shelburne?
Shelburne, burn like fire,
Oh,
burn.
Shelburne.
Oh.
It's just my family name. So anyway, my mom is Martha. They didn't want two Marthas in the house. So they were like, let's not call her Shelburne because that's weird, but we'll name her that anyway. And so my aunt actually came up with Shelby as a nickname. Like, what if you called her Shelby? And they were like, oh, I like that. And this is all before they even knew if I was going to be a girl. So when I was born, I was immediately Shelby, have never gone by my legal name. And I will admit, I did change my name completely when I got married to Shelby Middleton Rollins. And my parents are still salty about that.
Oh.
It's a
Sort
beautiful
of.
name, though.
I give
Both
them a
of
hard
them.
time because they give me a hard time. It's mutual. So I'm like, well, you could have just named it Shelby. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But anyway,
That's amazing.
not named after the car, not named after Steel Magnolias, just named after a nickname from a family name. So
Amazing.
that's the story.
But you're giving me Julia Roberts with the hair. It's
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah.
Yes.
Look at that.
Off the shoulder, it's very Pretty Woman. little side of streetwalker, right?
I wasn't going to say that. I was just saying the hair is beautiful.
With a side of
Incredible
Streetwalker.
movie.
It's something I've never heard you say before.
Yeah, well.
No, but
Anyway.
Shelby Still Magnolias.
You were
That's
Shelby
my
and
first
Steel Magnolias, your
lead.
first lead.
First lead. And then, but honestly, after college, I lived in New York for a year. And then I booked the understudy of Glinda. That was my very first job out of college,
wow.
really.
That's wild.
And that was
That is wild.
going on stage, leading a show that was like
And
really
who was
my first
Glinda
lead.
at that time?
On Broadway or a tour?
On the tour,
Okay.
on the national tour.
Oh, on the national
So it was
tour,
the North
okay.
American tour, and that was my very first job out of college. My Glinda at the time was Carrie St. Louis. She was my Glinda for my first month and a half, and then Amanda Jane Cooper took over. So
Oh, yeah.
I went through 6-7 Glindas before I eventually took over the
Wow.
role. So it was a great
Wow.
learning experience through my early 20s.
Wow.
That's crazy.
How
When
many
you think about it.
times would you say you filled in as the understudy?
I think I counted, I don't want to say like the exact number because it's probably wrong, but I
Right.
think when I before I took over for the role, I think it was like 72 times.
Wow.
Because,
So like
Glinda's...
every month or two, you maybe do it.
Yeah, I think the longest it was maybe a 5-month stint because it was a switch between Glindas, and obviously one is fresh and one's ending the tour, and they're like wanting to soak it all in and perform it as much as possible. And also eventually they start their run and then they go on vacation. They get sick. They have a personal day. So it really adds up, which is kind of exciting. But to be fair, I did understudy though for like 3.5 years. It was technically 3 years, 8 months. It was a while.
Yeah.
But such a great learning experience.
And for those of you out there listening who don't quite know the Broadway world at all, an understudy, let them know what that actually means.
Yeah, no, it's so complicated. And then like once you get the Tetris, you're like, oh, this makes sense.
Yeah.
But an understudy basically is in the show every night. I think it's different for certain shows, but at least the structure of Wicked. An understudy is in the show every night. We perform in the ensemble. At the time, my track was Glinda's mean best friend, Fanny. So if you've seen the movie, you recognize, they're her two friends. So I played Fanny every night. And then if Glinda was sick or on vacation, I would take over for her for the night or the week or however long that time was, and then go back into the show once she was back in. And so there were 2 understudies. So I was only understudying for Glinda, and then there's another understudy for Glinda, but she also understudies Nessa Rose. So Elphaba's sister. And that's kind of how the structure works. When you get to Broadway, there is a standby.
Yes.
So that's where it gets a little complicated and everybody's like, what just happened? So Glinda has a standby and Elphaba has a standby. So both witches have standbys and they are not in the show every night. They're backstage, they're chilling in their dressing room, and they're there just in case something happens. They decide to call out either mid-show or before the show, but they're always the ones that go first.
Before an understudy.
Before an understudy, not because the understudy's not important, they're just in the show. So the transition's just quicker for them to be able to get ready and be a part of that. Yeah. But then there's also one Glinda understudy and then an Elphaba understudy too on Broadway.
And I was just telling you, I saw
So they have standbys and understudies on Broadway.
And on tour, they have an Elphaba standby, but they don't have a Glinda standby on tour. I don't know why.
This is all kinds of crazy witchery. It doesn't even that gets confusing fast.
It does.
It's a web.
I get it though, because you cannot be left like. It's like to just make sure you cover your bases completely. You can't be left without a Glinda.
There has to be coverage in the building, just
what.
because if somebody, let's say you rolled your ankle on stage, or something happens, or
Or
magically
maybe
you get a bug.
stuck on the train.
Yes, I mean that happens.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's happened before. So you never know what's gonna happen.
So the standby
I saw the standby.
Oh, you did?
When we went.
And she's incredible.
And I don't know why. I don't know the context. Of course, they don't tell you.
Sure.
But she stepped in. She was
amazing.
wonderful.
So that would be fun if they did tell you the context. They're like, tonight,
Like a pre-announcement for the show.
Something happened.
avoid the lower bathroom, everyone, because
The fried chicken at such and such restaurant. No, and most of the time it's either sickness or they already had a personal day scheduled. So
being a standby sounds kind of boring
it's not.
because you just have to sit in your
You just sit
dressing room
around.
a lot.
I think it's one of the coolest jobs ever because you really get to build the rapport with everyone backstage.
Oh,
The
that's
cast, the
fair.
crew, you really get to know people and be able to, you have the option too to go watch the show. Like I will watch it on the soundboard. So I'll watch maybe the first act and then the second act I'll come backstage. But you're able to talk to people during the show and really get to have that relationship with people.
So what about the
it's fun.
secondary roles? If Glinda and Elphaba have their own standby and understudy,
Yes.
what if another character in the show gets sick or can't make it tonight? Who does that?
They are equipped. It's like an arsenal. So,
all the big ones have understudies.
Fiero has 2 understudies. Dr. Joe has 2 understudies. So all the roles have understudies. But then we also have swings.
That's right. I forgot about swings.
Usually 6 swings. But that varies also depending on the season. Like if it's a season that's busy, maybe during the holidays, they bring in, extra coverage. But there's swings. And swings are masterminds because they can know up to 9 tracks.
What?
Like they can fill in
How do
for
they do that?
anybody in the
Have to.
ensemble.
Like a swing means they're playing multiple characters.
Oh, I know. Carlos is a swinger. I know what it means.
There it is, folks. There it was.
Give him a mic.
Check the box for this episode. We threw Carlos under the bus. Happens every time.
Oh, poor Carlos.
That was the perfect setup of all.
always
I think.
the
That
They
may be
turned
the
off
winner.
Carlos's mic for this. He can't even speak. I'm kidding.
I turned off my own mic.
He does have his own mic.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
That's mind-boggling to me that someone could know. I have a hard time remembering songs that I've sang for years.
Yeah.
That like sometimes just don't come to mind. So trying to know 9 different roles.
Oh, and
It's a
think about
lot.
it. They got to know the harmonies. You know, if you're a
Right.
soprano
Oh my
track, or you an
gosh.
alto for the day. I mean,
Right.
they're unbelievable.
and the movements and the
Yeah.
staging and the
I hope they get
is
paid well.
crazy.
I think they do, and they probably deserve a lot more.
Probably.
Yeah, that's right. Too.
I mean,
Yeah.
they look through. I mean, I think they have like iPads. Some work through. They all have their own methods, but some are iPads. Some are like binders of just each track. They're so organized.
How
but-
do they rehearse? Because like that's a question I've always wondered in Broadway shows. When how often once a show's going and there's always a
Right.
show going except Mondays, like when does a cast rehearse? When does a new person come in and rehearse? When do swings get to practice their other roles? All that kind of stuff.
That's a great question. So it's called a put in. So the show, a long
Put
running,
in?
a put in. A show is, if it's long running, they can't really stop. And so for instance, they'll pick a day of the week, and the new person, so let's say I was going into the show for the first time, I would rehearse probably like 2 weeks by myself with the dance captains. And they are also usually swings, and so they know all the tracks. They put you into the show. You rehearse basically with a number grid in the rehearsal room, but you're not on the stage usually. It's just how they've set up the rehearsal room for you. You're by yourself with them. They try to, set the scene for you, but obviously you're not going to have all of those people. And then right before you go into the show, usually like the week before, they do the put in. And that's when you are in costume. Usually no one else is because they're doing the show every night. They don't need the costumes.
Yeah.
But you are able to do the full show in costume, or at least the parts you're in, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then it's a free for all. Once you're put into the show, you're put in. And I'm sure, especially for me, the first night, it's kind of like deer in the headlights, because you're like, oh my gosh, there's like more effects now. There's fog, and the lights are at full blast. There's a full orchestra.
So many variables. now.
Yes. So that's kind of how that happens. What was kind of a blessing, though, is I don't want to call myself COVID Glinda, but I was I reopened the U.S. with the national tour. We're the very first Broadway show tour anyone to go back.
Oh, wow.
And so we started back August 3rd of 2021, and we were in Dallas, Texas, but we rehearsed for 3 weeks, and that was the first time I had, and probably honestly for any of the cast members, because the show's been around for going on 22 years, that we were able to rehearse it with the entire creative team and rehearse together. Usually when you rehearse, it's just a few of you, and it's very cool. So
Yeah. Wow.
There's just so many moving parts that
it's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, what's crazy is I've always known like they're huge productions,
Yeah.
but I actually wasn't it's bigger than I thought.
It's big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like trying to think, where do all these like swings and understudies and everyone, where do you stay? Those theaters are not big in New York. The backstage can't be that big.
It is kind of a maze, though. Think about like the Gershwin is an entire city block.
It's
I mean,
big.
like
Gershwin
it
is huge.
from like
Right.
50th to 51st Street. That is the entirety of the Gershwin, and it's like 4 floors, and so like one floor is like costumes and the orchestra, like with wardrobe, and one of the dressing rooms, and so it's just like a layer of it's all stacked on top of each other. So believe it or not, like we're there, but
Yeah.
and it's more spacious than you think it is.
What also gives one of the fair and somewhat big complaints with Broadway today is it's expensive.
Yeah, it is.
And so for a family to go to Broadway, you're shelling out some bucks.
Oh, for
You
sure.
know,
Yes.
for just
Which
to
is
go to
why
New
I
York in
didn't
general.
go. When I
Yeah.
lived in New York, I never saw
Yeah.
it because I
Yeah,
was poor.
go to a show. It's really expensive, but it gives some context to why, because
Yeah.
there's so many players involved to actually make that production happen.
There are. And that's what's hard, is because obviously you do want to make it, though, accessible.
Sure.
Because you want to share theater. And,
Yeah.
I was the little girl that was watching it in the audience when I was in 8th grade. And
Yeah.
so that is difficult. But you're right. There are so many playing parts to it. And thank goodness for sometimes like lottery tickets. I think they still do it on Broadway, but I know on the tour in certain cities, they'll do like lottery like 2.5 hours before. So like that, I guess, is a good opportunity at least, but it is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, how long have you been off that tour?
So I technically finished my run in 2022.
Okay.
March of 22 was when I finished Glinda after 6.5 years.
Wow.
Because did the understudy for almost almost 4 years, 3 years, 8 months, left for 2 weeks, and then took over. So it was a while. So 2022. However, then I went to Broadway. And then this past year, even though I was on Broadway, I also in January went to the tour for a week to fill in.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of a revolving door, which I'm
call
so
you
grateful
in.
for.
Yeah.
So it's just very back and forth. But
Yes, and we were discussing right before we started filming that when I went, I think I talked about this in an earlier episode, how I went and saw Wicked. Did I talk about this on the show? Because
we
it
don't
was
really
like
listen to you, Shelby.
it's like it was a wound in my soul. Thanks, Jason. That I never saw Wicked when I lived in New York, but Tanner and I went for my birthday in July, and I missed you by a week
I can't believe that.
because I saw the
That's
Glinda
really crazy.
standby.
I cannot believe
And
that.
I almost saw you. Now
So close.
what are you called then?
I mean, truly,
What do they call you?
if I go in for the week and I, fill in for the standby, I'm technically the standby for the week.
Gotcha.
So like when they put it in the playbill, it'll be like Glinda standby.
Standby, yeah.
So just for the week.
Yeah.
It's like when they say one night only.
Yeah.
That's kind of my title for the week, which
Yes.
is really fun.
It would have been so funny if I had seen you.
I know. I would have. It was getting close when you were
It really
like, I
was.
was there this time. I was like, I was on during this time.
Oh man,
So close, Carlos.
so close.
So they just have you like on standby? Is that how that works? Or
Kind of, sort of. They'll message my agent and then say, hey, like, what's her availability for these dates that are coming up in the near future? And hopefully it works out. And honestly, I hope it always works out
Yeah.
because I will never say no to Broadway.
Yeah.
I love it. And also with the show, I love it so much.
It's such a great show.
And we're going on 10 years, which is crazy.
That's
November
awesome.
is 10 years.
that is wild.
The
Is
magic.
there ever like a Glinda party where like all the Glindas just get together?
There's not a Glinda party.
There should be a Glinda party.
I feel like there's a lot of you guys.
Once upon
Not a lot,
time,
but like
there probably has happened. But I will say, like, as far as I know, like, everyone's friends, and it is a sisterhood, truly.
I love that.
Because everybody talks about stories. You've been through the same experience, and you're cheering everybody on because it's like, you've done it. So
Now
you want them
Ariana can
too.
come to the Glinda party.
She's always invited.
Oh, right, yeah.
Go,
She's
Linda.
always invited. Have you seen the show? Have you seen the movie?
Oh, I've seen both, yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
No,
okay,
no,
I was
yeah.
like,
I've
gosh.
seen Wicked probably 4 or 5 times.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
a connoisseur. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Carlos.
I've not seen either.
Oh
You
my
haven't seen the
goodness.
movie yet? Really?
I've not.
You need to see it.
Oh, really, Carlos?
It's really great.
Come
It really
on, you
is.
got to see this
Y'all
movie.
gotta have a party.
And now, and the new
Yeah.
one. Now we're very close to the release of the new one coming out November.
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 Part 2. Okay, here's a question.
Give it to me.
Do people have? I don't know. So when I saw it on Broadway, of course, it was the first time I'd seen the second act, right?
Yeah.
And the second act really doesn't have the same big songs that the first act does. The first act is like packed with all the big songs. There's good songs in the second act, but none of them are the ones that people really know
Okay.
to an extent, except for Good,
Sure, I
maybe,
was gonna
but
say for Good.
otherwise, like they're not the big known songs. So, is there any kind of like? I don't even know. I don't have the question formed, to be completely honest. The question's not formed on my mind. Do you ever get any kind of feedback from people that like the second act is not as good, or even in anticipation of the movie coming out, how will the second movie top the first movie?
So there's a few things to that. First off, I believe I've not heard them, but there's 2 new songs
Really?
coming in
Yeah, I've
for
heard
this
that.
movie.
Ooh.
So
There's some new stuff.
very exciting.
That's almost scandalous.
I have not heard them, but very exciting. So that's something to look forward to. But actually, it's almost the opposite. It's like the anticipation because like you're going to a new generation of like children that have never seen it before or adults.
Yeah.
And there's like audible gasp like when there's certain reveals and
The storyline has big, yeah.
Yes,
sure.
there's different. So maybe like For Good is maybe like the most well-known song or No Good Deed. But they're all shocked by like the big reveals of Act 2. So that's
Yeah.
what kind of makes it fun is like the
Uh-huh.
and what you don't always hear.
I also have like a question I think about the storyline because if you've seen The Wizard of Oz,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You know in your mind the Wicked Witch is dead. She is dead.
Yes.
But then you see Wicked and you're
I
like,
haven't seen either.
Wait.
So
You've not seen The Wizard of
No.
Oz?
I'm just kidding.
I guess plug
was
your
about
ears.
Spoiler alert.
Earmuffs, Carlos. Like that was the thing where I was kind of like, wait. But the Wicked Witch is dead. Ding dong. But,
Yes.
But is she?
that's
And
a
then
spoiler.
it made me also want to go back and watch The Wizard of Oz again for all the Easter eggs, but also for the what's his face?
All the Easter eggs.
Oh, the scarecrow.
The scarecrow. Because
Yes.
I was like, whoa.
Where are
when it
there
came to the
Easter eggs
scarecrow,
in the?
Where are? Do you know what the Easter egg like? It's like a colloquialism.
Like a
Do you know what
hint.
that means?
No.
An Easter egg. So an Easter egg refers to, it alludes to like a little clue, a little hint, a little innuendo of some sort that's hidden in a story. You're like, oh, I caught that little.
Yes.
How is it
yes,
in
yes,
What,
yes.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And they're called Easter eggs. It's just a saying. They're
Like
not actual
Taylor Swift gives
Easter eggs.
Easter eggs.
Well,
like she'll post
right.
a date in the middle of a song or something.
It's from the tradition that during Easter they hide Easter eggs and people find them.
Oh, okay.
So you can
Yes.
find
know.
these
You find
little
Clues.
These little clues.
Little
these
clues.
Yes.
Clues.
Okay.
Yes. But you know
I've-
what? Mark actually, in his episode, he referred to Easter eggs in the opening sequence of the movie, where you're like, where they're sort of zooming out over the school.
yes,
um,
yes.
Shiz.
Yes.
Shiz. And he mentioned it, and I was like, and so the last time I watched the movie, I was like, what is it? Where is the Easter? I couldn't figure out what he was talking
It's
about.
funny because the first time I saw it, obviously, like I noticed little things that I was like, oh, that's like really clever.
Yeah.
But then going back the second time, there's like even more. Like you'll see like in the Shiz
Yeah,
walls,
that's
and
what
you're
I've
like,
heard other people
oh,
say.
this
Yeah.
is interesting.
Yes.
Gotta watch it more than once.
The thing about Wicked, it's just the most brilliantly written story.
It is.
It feels like it was there before The Wizard of Oz. Like it truly
Yeah.
feels like it was a prequel. And that's wild to me that they can retrofit a prequel into like the story of The Wizard of Oz so well.
And
it
it's
didn't
like
feel
timeless.
forced. Yeah.
Like it's also too. That's weird. It's like
Yeah.
it feels also though relevant now, even though it came out in like 2003.
I
Yeah.
think that's a very valid point because so much of theater today could have a timestamp on it.
Sure,
Right?
sure.
And the classics, as we know them to be, that are still so great, and we see the revivals coming back. It seems to be a little more
Yeah.
than maybe the past 10 years, would
Oh
you
yeah.
say?
Sure.
And I think it points to there's a hunger in culture right now for things that are timeless
Yeah.
and things that are before the world we know it today with all of our technology and all of our tablets and phones and everything else. And so you're right. I think that's one of the special secrets of that show
Yeah.
is just like a Les Mis or which is odd in of itself because it's definitely a time period.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
But it's a classic plot line that people can identify with. And I feel like it speaks to kids, it speaks
Totally,
to adults. You
totally.
find
Yes.
something.
Yeah. Do you think that's going to be more of a direction for Broadway in the next 10 years that we're going to go back to a little more of the classical making of shows, or do you think we're still going to see what we've been seeing?
Gosh, who knows? And I don't think anybody could technically give you an answer. Maybe
fair.
producers,
Yeah.
because they're like, we
But
know
they don't
what's
know what's
coming down,
gonna work.
but they
Right.
don't know what works. And
Yeah.
I would hope so. I hope that there's going to be more shows that are, relevant to like a theme that everybody can identify with. You can bring also your kids to. I think that's what's hard sometimes is
Yeah.
feel like it's I want to share with the whole family.
Yes.
And if we miss that,
That
then we're
is
not
hard.
exposing them also to
Right.
theater.
Did you see Dolly?
I actually did.
Did you?
Came down to Nashville to see Dolly, and
Dang,
it was
I didn't get to see
it
it.
was really fun. It was very fun. I love Dolly, but I honestly, like, who doesn't?
Yeah,
Who
how
doesn't?
can you not?
Who does it? So
Yeah.
fun. My whole family convened from Florida for me, and
Love it.
I was flying down from New York, and
That's so fun.
so we all convened to watch Dolly, and it was so good.
Oh, good.
So really enjoyed that.
Nice.
Because it opens soon.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
They were trying to petition to keep it ongoing here also.
Really?
And who knows, I could foresee that
Who
coming back.
takes that petition? The mayor?
I think
Yeah,
it
but
all
who
had
makes
to
that
do.
decision?
By decree.
I think it had to do with, money and space and
Sure.
some,
Well,
of
like a
course.
funder, some sort of funding for it. But like, there was definitely chatter about that. Let's
I
see
had
if we can
never
keep
been
it going
to the
here.
Fisher Center.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
Obviously, like
gosh.
I've been to the CMA Fest, like I had been to like Nissan, but and I performed at TPAC, but I've never
It's
been.
world class.
It's beautiful.
There's-
Yeah,
It's
I've not
unbelievable.
I've not seen anything in it. I've been in there, but I haven't seen anything like in there.
Yes.
But it's.
I was like, can
it is
national
beautiful.
tours come through and
I
perform
know,
there? It's
right?
I
the
know.
ceiling just itself,
I know,
like with
just
the
the-
stars
yeah.
and stunning.
It's fantastic. For those of you out there, the Fisher Center is a world-class venue on Belmont University's campus. And it was designed after the grand halls of Europe.
Oh, wow.
And arguably some of the best acoustics, if not the best acoustics in the world right now.
It was
which
gorgeous.
is crazy to think about. But it was, what, $200+ million to build it.
Oh, wow.
All privately funded. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Now they're
Pretty
rebuilding
fascinating.
T-Pack.
Yes,
We're getting
and that's
Oh,
going to be
really?
exciting.
T-Pack.
Nashville's
way.
going to get a new T-Pack,
Yeah,
Oh,
which
my
is
gosh.
which is the
let's
Tennessee
just-
Performing
let's just
Arts
say,
Center.
Thank God. Okay, T-Pack was.
Yeah, it's old. You
she
guys out
needed-
there, we
she
keep
needed
talking.
a boost.
We keep talking about these things like you know exactly what we're saying. T-Pack, Easter eggs, you know.
People do know what Easter eggs are,
Yeah.
Jason. That was just you.
I mean,
What does it mean? Tennessee Performing Arts Theater?
yeah.
I performed
Center.
there in 2018.
Did you?
So
What
it's
show?
been a
With
while with the Wicked,
The
when I was an
Wicked.
understudy.
Yeah.
And it was so fun, and it's very big.
It's old.
very big.
It is big,
It's
but
big.
it's old.
Yeah.
It needs to be like imploded and start over. So
I
they
saw,
are. It's going to be,
the-
and that's going to be a world class venue too. I've
Yes.
seen the renderings. It's
Oh, that's exciting.
crazy.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. But it's going to be a couple more years. I mean, it's
Oh,
gonna,
at least it's.
we're ways
I
away.
mean, they haven't even started that other than the new stadium. That's where it's going to be on that side of the river.
Yeah. Anyway.
Some time away.
Okay, so back to you.
Oh, no.
My next question is: have you done when you get into the Wicked world?
Yeah.
It just sort of is like
Shelby,
now you're mine.
The Wicked world.
The Wicked.
The Wicked World.
You don't
Yeah.
delve into devil stuff.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. Once you're in Oz,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
do they let you out? Can you do anything else? have you
They
been
lock you
able to?
in.
Especially now that you're doing
Tortured by
standby
munchkins.
opportunities and they call your agent, is she available? Well, I don't know. Is she doing other things? What else is
No,
kind of cooking?
they let you out. I mean, even when you're in, on your contract, like when I toured for 6.5 years, you get vacation weeks and you get personal days and
Sure.
you get to let loose.
Yeah.
it's kind
have
of
you
funny.
gotten to play other roles though?
Oh, like I actually have been going into, which is really exciting. I love film and TV.
Mm-hmm.
So really have tried to kind of break into that. When you're on tour, TV and film moves very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you submit a self-tape, you may not be able to get out of your contract that quickly. Versus, sometimes with theater, it's a ways in advance. You're able to negotiate that. So since being off tour, I've been able to do a couple of movies. I
Cool.
was in a Lifetime movie in March. Who knows when that's coming out? Hopefully
That's
this year.
fun.
Yeah.
Where'd you film that? Vancouver?
In Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Actually, yeah, we filmed in Atlanta. So I flew down for that. And then The Christmas Ring. I'm in that movie, which is Karen Kingsbury's new Christmas film.
Well, that's fun.
Which is exciting.
Yeah.
And then another Christmas movie I filmed 2 years ago. It's owned by Fox. And we don't know where and when it's going to be distributed, but we filmed that in Connecticut. So kind of all over the place, but I love film and TV. So hopefully more of that.
Do you have a preference over one or the other, film and TV or Broadway? I mean, I know they're so different, yet.
I really don't, because I just love to perform. I really
Sure.
do. So if there's an opportunity for me to perform,
You're gonna
I
do
just want to do it. They're just so different because
Yeah.
it is nice when you're on stage. Like you get that instant feedback. You have an audience. It's living and breathing. It's so fun. Versus when you're on film and TV, there's nothing. I mean, truly, you have a scene partner, but you're acting to a little square. And of course, but it comes with the cast and crew is so fun, and so they have their pros and cons.
Sure.
There had to be some sort of adjustment, though, coming from building a career around the live feedback
Yeah.
to now I'm just in this room and it's quiet and
It's a very
I have to
different
bring
vibe.
this energy
Yeah.
and this
Yes.
character and this emotion, yet you're not having the atmosphere that you're used to feeding off of.
And
Right.
it's smaller. The acting is definitely more contained and more, I don't want to say natural, because obviously you hope you're always a natural human. But
It's nuanced.
It's nuanced and, smaller, just because obviously I can't flap my arms around. The screen director would kill me. But it is, I think that you have to kind of trust yourself a little bit more and be like, okay, I'm happy with that performance, or maybe I'm not. Maybe I'll just watch it back and I'll be happy. But it is. It is very different than not having that.
Actually, that brings up a good point. I never thought about in film and TV. I guess unless if you're Tom Cruise, of course,
Sure,
you're going to be
yeah.
able to say, I don't like this, let's redo it. But you really have to trust the director and the producers of those shows or movies. And you got to like what comes out, because
And in theater,
it's their decision, right?
right? Because in theater, like you're able to like, okay, we want to give a performance one night. But if you didn't love your choice, you have the next night to try it.
Right.
It's
Versus
like there one moment and gone the next. It's not captured forever.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. In film and TV, sure, you can cut and go back, but usually it moves fast and you only have sometimes 2 takes.
Yeah.
And that's it. And sometimes your performance is as great as your editor. It's how they
Right.
decide to splice it and put it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really fascinating.
You guys remember that?
Oh, wow.
Only as good as your editor.
No, listen, we had to get really comfortable early on with these dumb little thumbnails that Carlos produces for us because we have no say in that until we see it.
They used to
And-
be a lot worse.
I
Trust
know.
you, Carla. They trust
And,
you.
I mean, when we first started doing them, I was like, I hate this. Can you redo it? And then it's just like, I can't worry about this. This is just one, it's kind of pointless and silly and dumb.
Yeah.
We're capturing just little snippets, but yeah, that's totally his control. So if he gets mad at us one week, he could make it really interesting.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
funny.
And I think that's one big thing too, and both of you would get this, well, all 3 of us, 4 of us, there's 4 in here, sorry, is the reality that when you are a performer, one of the biggest obstacles that you have to work through is giving up that level of creative control to other people to help you
Yeah.
in that process, regardless if it's in the studio, on stage, a concert, Broadway, in film and TV, whatever.
Sure.
Right. And, you know, working with singers specifically, like Shelby and I do so closely, we're constantly helping them manage the mind game of, oh, I look horrible. Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate the way, like the self-speak that you have to learn, and you've had to do it too.
Oh, sure.
To get to the other side, or be like, it really does not matter.
Right.
Yeah.
And how many times do you watch something and you might occasionally be like, what are they wearing? Or their hair doesn't look so cool in that. But it's not like this mean judgment
No.
of like, oh my gosh, I can't stand, you know.
I kind of
Brad
have
Pitt.
learned, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't, I think we can be so critical and self-deprecating of ourselves that like when you really like set yourself out of that box, you're like, oh, people just don't care that much.
No,
and
they
if
don't.
they do, then probably their opinion didn't matter. But
Yeah, and
Exactly.
it's people, because we don't realize. I mean, this is like how do I say this? This is sort of like where a lot of my parenting is going with having a middle schooler right now, is helping my middle schooler understand everyone in middle school is like a little hormonal narcissist, right? They're like raging hormones.
That
They're
would
all
be a
going
good
through
band name, the
puberty.
hormonal
that
narcissist.
kind of
It'd
is.
be a,
Yeah, right?
it'd be a middle school
I buy
band.
the-
Yeah, I love it.
And they're, as a result, they're all very like inner focused, because all of a sudden you hit that stage of life. Puberty, I think, is a big trigger for this sort of self-awareness. Whoa, what's going on? I was actually talking to my daughter about this the other day. I was like, in the Bible, like Adam and Eve, they're naked the whole time until they sin. And then all of a sudden they're like, whoa, I'm naked. Whoa. They were naked the whole time, but something triggered self-awareness. And so similarly, like in this era of their lives and like these preteens and early teenage years, we all kind of trigger this space of self-awareness all of a sudden. And then they don't know who they are because they're for the first time paying attention
Right.
to who they are. And so
Right.
it's very like, oh my gosh, all they can do is try to manage their image and hope that it's acceptable.
Yeah.
A lot of us never really leave middle school in certain parts of ourselves. You know what I mean? And so we get to any place in our life, and we're
I would say
still
the
having,
majority of us do
I
not.
mean,
in culture,
times.
right?
Yeah,
It seems that way.
absolutely.
Especially in
It were-
today's world, there are more people who still play middle school than
Yeah.
No, so
graduate to
And
adulthood.
we're also kind of self-absorbed because we're so terrified what other people think about us,
Yeah.
not realizing that everybody is that way. And as a result, they're not looking at you, they're looking at themselves.
Right.
So if we only realize that people aren't criticizing every second of our lives, every step that we take, the way that we criticize it, I think we would be so much more free to just be ourselves. But it's a hard task, because we're all just so trying to manage what we think other people expect of us to be. And that's like a hard thing for performers for sure. Because it's, what if I look XYZ? It's like, nobody really cares.
Yeah.
Actually, you care, but nobody else really does. And you do have to live with you, and you need to like what's coming out of you artistically. But at the same time, do it for you, not for whatever, person out there you're trying to impress. So
That was good.
That was good.
That was
Shelby.
actually
so
very
deep.
good.
It's like, what's that saying? You point at you, what they say? Don't point
Three
at me.
fingers are pointing back to yourself.
Yeah,
Something
I
like
had
that?
someone always said there's 4 fingers pointing back, and then it hit me. No, there's just 3 because the thumb isn't really.
Yeah.
It can't
Yeah.
point back.
Yeah.
So
Mine does,
I was
because look how
gonna say-
double jointed she is.
Oh my gosh,
I can make like right angles with my thumbs.
that is
Oh.
crazy.
No, it's kind of weird. It's my party trick.
Wow.
It's all I have.
That's really your party.
Ladies
I
and
got.
gentlemen, the Vocal Lab podcast.
I
Can't
don't.
wait to
I
come
don't
to
go
that party, Shelby.
Well, I don't go to many parties, so
She walks around. You want to see something?
I don't get invited back. I'm a mom, and I'm usually at home and in bed at 9:30.
You did, I was gonna interject, but then I was like, "Oh, this is way too good." I mean, I'm like taking this all in. You're not like old enough to have a middle schooler.
Oh,
Like that's
thank you.
impressive. Very impressive. I was just like shocked. I was like,
I
"Oh
do.
my gosh,
I've got one,
that's incredible."
and she's taller than me. We measured ourselves the other day.
Is she really
Yeah,
already?
she's
How
like a half
exciting!
inch. She's got a half inch on me.
How was the big Disney show? Talking of her that you went to.
Okay,
Zombies.
So you know the Zombies Descendants movie franchises.
Okay, yes.
Okay, they're both in Disney. For anybody who doesn't know, there are these 2 movie franchises in Disney called Zombies is one and The Descendants is the other. Both of them have 4 movies in their franchise, and they're currently, as we speak, as we film, on like a tour, a national tour, and it's like the Zombies Descendants Worlds Collide tour, and they came to Bridgestone. They came here recently. Last week, actually. And I saw that they were going. I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to take my daughter. She's going to die because she loves all those movies. She's seen all of them. She is prime, like target demographic.
She is their audience.
100%. And so she went, and so this is a fun fact. I'm kind of name dropping. Sorry, but it's okay. A friend of mine is Malachi Barton's mom. So Malachi Barton is the stud star of the new Zombies movie.
Okay.
There's like a thing people are saying out there in the world called the Malachi effect, which is basically like however you can imagine the way girls screamed for Elvis the first time, like there was someone to scream over, or like the Beatles, or my generation, like New Kids on the Block and
Yes.
In Sync and all of that.
One
like,
Direction.
the way
I'm past that. but-
so she got me free tickets and backstage passes because I was like, hey, are you coming out? She said they live in LA. I was like, I'd love to see you if you're coming. And she's like, let me just get you some tickets. So she gave me tickets, and they were amazing seats. We were right on the floor, and we were right in front of the stage. I mean, we could have been spit on by all of them. So they have like 6 core cast members that represent both movie franchises that are touring around, and they do all of the big songs from all these movies. And the new Zombies movie is the one that he's in. Anyway, he's very cute, right? So the girls are like very obsessed, and they scream all these. I mean, it's like an arena filled with preteen and teenage girls.
And Carlos.
Were you there, Carlos?
He's not seen Wicked.
I was not.
Carlos is like, I had even better seats. So.
I mean, when I went to bed that night, my ears were ringing, and I'm laying in bed. I'm like, what is that noise? And then I was like, oh my gosh, my ears are ringing still. That's how loud it was. I've never
way.
experienced that kind of screaming. And they scream for every cast member, but the way they scream when Malachi's featured is like a whole nother level.
Did
and it was
you-
bananas.
Was he there?
Yes, that's why they were screaming.
Did you? I didn't know if it was like a video of him. And
I can
like
show you a picture.
And a swing or an
We got to
understudy was.
take a picture with him.
Did
Oh no, it was him.
Did you have earplugs?
No, I forgot him.
Oh my gosh!
I did go get like a napkin and like stuck it in my ears for like the second half of the show. It was
I'm
it was
sure that didn't
so
embarrass
good.
your daughter at all.
Oh my gosh. I was like crying laughing because she's one of those girls that's screaming at the top of her lungs and knows every single word of every song. And I will say, when you're talking about the level of production of a Broadway show and how much goes into that, that's how I felt about this touring show of
Sure.
Disney. I was like, whoa. There was a lot to it. Millions of costume changes. They had 2 stages. They had one more in the back of the floor and then the main one in the front. And they'd go back and forth performing. But they fantastic. The dancing was, I mean, it was a very dance heavy show. They did
love that.
phenomenal. They did really good. I was super impressed. It was a great show.
Now that's a great question. Do you
Yes.
dance
Yes.
in shows? Because I know some
yes.
some
Glinda.
there are.
Glinda
Well, that's
does
true.
dance
That's true.
a little
Yes,
bit.
you're right.
Well, no,
Dancing?
I mean, my very first job I was in the ensemble. So
Oh,
I was
right, you
dancing. I
said
was
that.
doing Dancing Through Life and all the things.
Because one of the reasons I never went and even tried to do Broadway, because I grew up doing shows, was because I wasn't a dancer, and I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but I know there are people who do Broadway who don't dance.
Sure. And there's plenty. There's plenty of people
plenty.
that do not dance. I will say, though, the reason why I loved going to Boston Conservatory when I did is because I did dance my whole life, but I wouldn't say I was like a competitive dancer. Like my mom put me in all the dance classes and gave me every resource possible, but I by no means was like, you know, incredible kick your face dancer. And so, but Boco really focused on dance heavy. And I was like, well, probably my first job out of school is in the ensemble. I got to learn how to kick.
Yeah.
And so I like doubled up on dance classes and I ended up being a decent dancer,
Hey, there you go.
which is good
Yeah.
4 years later. But yeah.
Yeah, so Ensemble was the first show. Do you have a dream role?
Dream role. Well, speaking of Disney,
Oh.
I love Disney shows.
Yeah, I do too.
I do.
Yeah.
I've always I love like Alan Menken and like Stephen Short songs, and so like I would love to do like maybe Frozen one day, like Princess Anna, Belle, Beauty and the Beast,
Oh, yeah.
Little Mermaid. It's just I love
Yeah.
that range. It's just like a beautiful a fun place to sing. So maybe Disney one day.
Yeah.
I would love that, or something not written.
Or even that. Do you write?
How about we just say I have not yet?
Yeah, I like that.
I have not. You know, that's something I've never dabbled in, and I don't want to say I had no interest in it because I feel like everybody has like a story to tell, but I just have never started. So maybe one day.
Yeah.
I feel like writing a full show would be somewhat, I want to say difficult. Well, yeah, it would be difficult, but like challenging to do in the midst of being a star in shows and doing Broadway itself.
Sure.
Because just the time constraints
Yeah.
alone would make that a little challenging.
To like compartmentalize,
Yeah,
and you know,
right.
there probably is somebody that's done that.
Oh,
and
probably so.
They're more brilliant than me, but that is hard to kind of like compartmentalize. But yeah, I have never.
And talk about a big risk. I think that's probably one of the biggest risks in creative writing
Yeah.
is how hard it is to have a show make it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because
sure.
Yeah.
the production cost alone to get something to that point, you know, sure, you sit down and write it or co-write it with some people, but to take it from that place to the stage and then to off Broadway to Broadway, we're talking tens of millions of dollars of investment.
And to build that takes
to build it.
years, you know, different like workshop productions of it and
Yeah.
trying to build the backers for the
Right.
show.
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy when you hear about like a new show, you'll be like, yeah, but that was in like workshops for 5 years, 10
Right.
years, and
Yeah.
to kind of see like the different versions of it, you know, throughout time.
Yeah, no, it's super fascinating. I don't think a lot of people understand the Broadway world because they've just not been in it.
Oh, yeah.
And I think a lot of
Yeah.
people don't even, there's probably several people out there listening today that just don't even like Broadway.
Well, those people are just wrong.
I know. I've got a really good friend who does not like musical theater at all and
No way.
loves music. Like,
Really?
Loves music.
Oh, we have to expose that
And
friend.
we went, I've tried. I didn't tell him. I was living in LA at the time. We went to see La La Land. And he had some choice words about 2 minutes into it. He's like, he was so mad.
Because he didn't know it was a musical.
He
when
didn't
took
know it was a
You
musical.
just tricked
I
him?
thought he did. I wasn't even trying to trick him. He wanted to see it. I was like, let's go.
Y'all, I was on a plane when La La Land came out, and I was watching it because thank you, Delta, for giving you like all the new films. And I had just gone through a breakup. I was just like sobbing on this plane. I think it was like 6:30 in the morning. I think the person next to me was like, "Is she good?" I'm like, "I'm fine."
So that happened to me one time. You know, like
Sobbing on a plane?
no, what you're saying,
That's
where
what
like
does.
you take somebody to a movie and they didn't know it was a
Oh,
musical,
yeah.
and I
Oh,
had
no.
the polar opposite reaction. This is just sometimes my head is in the sand when it comes to new movies coming out, and so when The Greatest Showman came out, family was in town for the holidays, and they were like, "We're all going to a movie." I'm like, "Okay, cool, whatever. Tell me when to be there." You know, I didn't know what we were seeing. I didn't know what we were doing. And they were like, "We're going to go see The Greatest Showman." I'm like, "Oh, cool. What's that about?" And they were like, "Oh, it's the origin story of
P.T. Barnum.
Yeah.
Barnum.
And I was like, oh,
He was also from
okay.
Florida, I
Like the
think, right?
circus, like, okay, I can, sure, whatever. I had no idea it was a musical.
No way.
So the opening sequence starts up and it's, oh, doom. And I'm like sitting there like, this is an interesting way to start this movie. And then all of a sudden, Hugh Jackman goes, ladies and gents, this is the moment you waited for. And I looked at my sister-in-law who took me there and go, is this a musical? And she goes, yeah. And I was like, yes. And it was like the best musical surprise.
I love that movie
And I
so
just
much.
cried
it's
like for
so
2
good.
hours.
I love it.
I did
basically.
see that 5 times in the theaters.
Yeah.
It's the only movie I've ever seen 5 times.
Really?
I
No
didn't see
way.
it that many times in the theaters. I've
I
seen
went with
it
different
dozens
people,
of times
that's why.
now. Well, I then went back after, because it was around Christmas when it came out. And then when my kids went back to school a couple weeks later after Christmas holidays were over, it's the first thing I did when my kids went back to school was I went down to the movie theater and watched it.
Watched it again?
Watched it all by myself and just cried.
I also saw that on the
It
plane.
still makes Tanner
Yeah,
cry,
same.
actually.
I think this would be fun. Like right next to Podcastville would be Showtune City.
Oh, there you go.
And you just have
Yes.
to walk around singing and dancing everything.
We could make a theme park, kind of like Disney World has Epcot, and Epcot has all the different countries. We could make it like
We should talk to
Like a
Nate
little theme
Bergatsky
park.
about that because I saw that he wants to build a theme park in Nashville. It's one
Does
of
he?
his dreams, yeah.
Well, he worked at Dollywood when he was a
Yes.
kid. It's a big part of his
Dollywood
bit. Have you ever
or
heard him talk about it?
Opryland?
Have you ever heard him talk about how? Oh, maybe it was Opryland.
Opryland.
That's right. He talks about how he was in charge of like kenneling animals when they'd go into the park because Dollywood has like a little pet
Opryland.
hotel. No, but Dollywood has like a little pet hotel that
No
so you can
way.
bring when you're traveling, you can like let your dog hang out there while you are in the park.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I guess Opryland had this, and so he used to work at it, and he was in charge of that. And he tells
Maybe
this
all theme
hilarious
parks have
story.
this.
Maybe they do. I thought that was so strange. Anyway, he lost someone's dog, and it was really he
no.
talks. They found it, but it
Yeah,
was
he
really
Okay, I
wants
was
to
like,
build-
did they find the
they
dog?
found the dog.
He wants to build a theme park in Nashville. This is like his grand plan.
Oh, wow.
We need to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, we should. And I saw too. He's like that was another thing. I saw this thing a few days ago on him, and it's like it's all been built around clean, good humor. Back to what you're saying about
Yeah.
family
family-friendly
friendly
shows like The Greatest
entertainment.
Showman or Wicked.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
There's such a need and hunger for those.
And
types
those are
of
such
productions.
good quality shows too
Yeah.
that people love. Like it doesn't have to be sketchy.
It doesn't
to
have
be
to
high
be, but there's
quality.
been a lot of low quality, and
There
those
has.
of us who grew up in the church world,
There
like,
has
we,
been,
we grew up with a lot of that.
but
Well, hopefully
And
it's
rightly
making
their own.
No, and that's what's good is that like you want to have a show for your kids, but you want to be able to see it together. I don't know. It's just like
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't just
Yeah.
like this is a kids movie or this is for
Totally.
the it's
Right.
just like why can we just not have
That's a
things
really
together?
good point.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Maybe that's one of the biggest like connectors of it all is like
Yeah.
they're together shows. Or
Yes.
together
And
events.
Greatest Showman
And
is great
Yes,
for
and we
that
don't
reason.
have a lot of those in culture. It seems
No.
anyway, right?
No, it
Very
doesn't.
Yeah.
compartmentalized.
very very compartmentalized.
That's why everyone should listen to this show because it's always family friendly. Shelby.
every once in a while the little letter E comes up in the corner of an episode, but most of the time
Shelby has a potty mouth, Alice.
that is not not on this show.
You're like not with the mic on.
Not the mic on.
Actually, none of us have potty mouths, really.
No, we don't.
We'll have a
I
guest every
do
once in a
not.
while.
Yes, we don't tell our guests that you're not allowed to.
Yeah.
Sure.
Say a stray word here and there.
I'm going
So
to
we
be
want
pretty
people to just-
squeaky clean on that.
Yeah.
I did grow up in a house. We did not say certain words. Shoot, I'm still 33, and my dad would probably say the same thing if I walked into the house. He'd be like, "No, you can't say that."
My dad was exactly the same way.
That's funny.
Is your family still in Florida?
Still in Florida,
Okay,
yes.
so you're a Florida girl through and through.
Florida girl, yes, and so it's so fun to be able to go back down. I mean, like, especially like moving to Boston, I was like, everybody has a beach like mine, and then I went to Boston, I was like,
Oh.
it's still pretty, but it's not the same.
And you're like, it's cold.
Yeah.
With the sand, it's not white, it's rocky,
Yeah.
and it's, just-
Right.
it's very
When I
different.
lived in New York, I was like, oh, I'm still in the water, but ew, this is different.
And,
the
what's-
East River.
Exactly. And what's
Yeah.
sweet though, I will say about Boston, New York, is that it's not too hard to get homesick because, or at least I don't get homesick. Let me rephrase that. I don't get homesick often just because I feel like I'm at least near the water. So if I can see it,
Sure.
reminds me of home. I don't feel
Yeah.
landlocked, but it's not the same as home.
No,
Are you a
it's
city
not.
girl though? Do you like love
I
New
do.
York
I
City?
do love a city. I do. I love the convenience of being able to get any kind of food that I want.
Yeah.
And then be able to walk there too. So like if the subway's
Yeah.
not working, or and honestly now I don't even take the subway that much. I walk.
Yeah.
And the older you get, I feel like now that like 10,000 steps has become
Yeah,
a thing.
right.
I'm like, I gotta get my steps in.
Oh yeah, I bought a weighted vest recently.
Did you? I've seen people
It's
wear
No
it.
like
way.
the middle-aged.
People wear it.
It's like a middle-aged woman thing.
Do you like it?
I do.
I think
do. I
want
walked
one.
like almost 4 miles with my middle-aged neighbor mom friends the other day, and then one of my friends sent me a reel. One of the ones I walked with, she sent me this reel on Instagram that was basically this dude in just going. It was like middle-aged white women wearing weighted vests. If you have not seen them in your neighborhood, or if you do, congratulations, you live in a nice neighborhood. And it's like, if you don't, it's okay. Don't worry, it's coming. But maybe if you don't see them by Christmas, just you do it. Just you start it.
That's funny. I've
Okay.
seen
It's a funny
two
little
women
video.
wearing them around my neighborhood. In
Jason,
the
are
past
we
they
gonna
look
get them?
middle-aged?
We need them.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Um,
It's apparently good for bone density for
I'm-
women.
Oh.
I'm going to suggest you should start wearing the vest on the podcast.
Oh,
And
okay.
I don't think I need a.
It's gonna weigh me down.
I don't think I need an invite to your Christmas party this year. You're making it sound extra fun and
Extra old
It probably
people.
is good for like core work. If you're just like sitting with it.
You're older than me.
have to sit up
probably
straight.
it probably is better.
It seems like it's going to be a
Yes.
bunch of people just wearing vests and doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Looking at their thumbs.
Just break out that thumb trick.
Yeah. Sure. I'm a really good time, guys.
We know, Shelby. We love you. We're just giving you a hard time.
That's okay.
Warranted.
It's usually
Warranted.
we're usually directing it towards Carlos, so it's my turn.
Yeah, I am redirecting my aggression today towards you more.
Yeah.
Micro.
No, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
microaggression. That's good. That's good. But I never throw it at the guest, Allison.
That's very sweet.
No, that's not true. You have.
Have I?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay,
Maybe
never
I do
mind.
occasionally.
But
Maybe I do
You
occasionally.
have to think of who it was. You did recently. It was funny though. I don't remember.
Might have been Mark.
Maybe.
We need to get you on Mark's podcast. It'd be,
I would love.
Yeah.
We would be
Oh, yeah.
besties.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
would be Broadway besties.
Mhm.
It's a fun one for sure. All things Broadway.
I
He's
gotta-
a
I have
huge
to meet
Broadway
him.
lover. So I remember the first time I ever went to Mark's house in LA, one of the first things he wanted to show me was he had this big, huge, he still has a book, like a photo binder
Yeah.
with all the playbills.
Oh, I have that. I have 3.
See,
Aw.
yeah, he's probably has more than
Thanks,
one.
Mom. She ordered them like
Aw.
from Playbill.com like I was a kid. And so like, I would have so many empty, but the older you get, you start
Wait,
filling them up.
Playbill.com
Yeah.
sells their own Playbill binder?
They at least did at the
Oh, I
time.
bet they still do.
better go check.
Probably.
But I have 3 of them.
That's so fun.
Aw.
What was the feeling you had when you got your first playbill that you were in?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was really special.
It
Like
had
to
it
be.
really was special. Because I still have my very first even Wicked playbill, like when I saw it in 2005, and so like I had my original ticket. Okay, this is really cute. I have to tell this story.
Please do.
So I still have my original ticket. It's in my playbill. Cool. So then obviously years later, I have my own playbill with my name and picture in it. So it's like super special.
Mhm.
But so when I went to go see the 20th anniversary a few years ago, I compared my tickets, and I was sitting on the exact same row, like
Aw.
2 seats over from where I saw it 20 years
No
prior.
way.
That's
so
cool.
like kind of crazy. It was like row G, like something.
Yeah.
But
That's so
really
cool.
special and a
Yeah.
full circle, being like, oh, I remember like having this dream 20 years ago,
Mm,
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
What was
very
the
cool.
very first Broadway show you saw?
Lion King.
Mm.
I love Lion King. That's magic. That is
Yeah,
magic.
that is
I mean,
magic.
It's
truly,
beautiful.
Pride Rock.
It's a beautiful show.
Like unreal
Yeah.
how they do all the puppets and
Yeah.
big Lion King fan. That's a good family show.
My first one
go ahead.
was Phantom of the Opera.
Mine
Oh,
too.
good one.
Yeah.
Yep. I was in
saw-
high school. I was like 16.
Same. I saw Phantom and Les Mis the same weekend.
No way. I saw the revival of Les Mis.
I saw the
which was
national tour of Les Mis.
great. Oh, fun.
That's the one I've
wonderful.
seen more than any. Les Mis.
Really?
Really?
Oh yeah, it's just.
I never
forever-
saw it on Broadway. but-
Forever, the best to me.
It's so good. So good.
Yeah, that music just like.
Oh, I love it. It's one of my
just
absolute favorites.
so inspiring,
Yes.
so moving. Okay, we're gonna play a game.
Okay.
I tend to forget this game,
Oh, I love a game.
but we have 2 martini
Look at her
shakers
eyes
here because
She's
I like
it's
martinis.
Like 11 a.m., guys.
Yeah.
What kind of activities are we doing?
We were just talking
And-
about family-friendly shows.
So we're gonna shake these up, okay?
Yes.
In one martini shaker are names of famous people.
Okay.
In the other one, we have very famous songs. and you pick one of each, and then I'll tell you what we're going to do with that.
Okay, this is a little scary. Okay, here we go.
And I forget which is
Am I
which.
allowed to
You're the
look or
perfect
not?
Yeah, you
person.
look at it.
You're the perfect person to do this too.
Sinatra.
Okay.
Oh, we love Sinatra. Okay, I'm not looking. Okay. Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
So you have to
Okay.
sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star like Frank Sinatra.
Oh my gosh. Carlos, did you come up with this? Okay, let's do it. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you are. Guys, that's all I got.
Hey, that was fantastic. And I have to give you props because you came right out of the gate. You didn't
Yeah.
hesitate. You
No
didn't stop.
hesitation. You didn't.
Everyone so far has hesitated or like they've like
Or
tried
been
to
like,
find
I
courage.
don't want to do that.
And
Yeah.
if I give it
Yeah.
too much thought, we'd be here all day. So I was like,
That's
I gotta
'cause
do it.
You were a true professional.
You are a professional Broadway pro. That's
Thank
right
you.
there.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
that
you,
was
thank you.
fun.
I love this game. That's
Right?
very
That's
fun.
fun. Did I ask if you had a dream role? I did. You said
Yeah, you
Disney.
did. I could see you in Les Mis though.
I would love
Yeah.
to be a Cosette.
Yes.
Yeah, I could
I
totally
would
see that.
love to. That's
For
just
sure.
it's a fun one. It's funny because like it's such a sad musical. Like it is so sad, but it is such a fun one to do. Like in summer stock, New London Barn Playhouse in New Hampshire, we did Les Mis. I was in the ensemble, and it's really fun. Like the barricade is fun. So I know it sounds kind of like an oxymoron to be like everyone's dying on stage, but
Just
really
piles
sad.
of dead bodies. It's so fun.
Really fun
I've never
show,
had
guys.
more fun in my life.
Just family fun, you know.
Good family fun.
Speaking
We need
of-
a standby for a dead body.
Got another dead one. Throw one in. Oh my gosh. Well, what are you most excited about coming up?
Oh goodness.
And how can people follow you?
Yeah.
Well, I do post on the Instagram, and it's just my name, Allison Bailey. Occasionally, I'm on the TikTok.
Okay.
I'm trying to come up with the social media regime. So you can find me there on social. But looking forward to seeing the movies that I filmed. I think that's
Yeah,
what's
that's
so
gonna be
fun
fun.
is, you put in the work of like doing the production part, and then you don't see it for months, sometimes years later.
Sure.
So it's really exciting. So definitely Christmas Ring is coming out in November. So excited about
All
that. I
right.
have a
Yeah.
small role there.
Love that.
Well, everyone, keep an eye out for this amazing human and Christmas. You're bringing Christmas joy
Christmas.
this year. Is it a happy one? Or
Oh,
does
it's
someone
so
like die
happy.
cancer? Like
No, and that is a family film. That
Yeah,
it is
okay.
a happy movie through and through, and
Will
the
we see it
message
in
is
the theaters
awesome.
or is it on a
It's
streaming
actually going to be
platform?
in theaters.
Oh,
yeah,
hey,
it
that's
is.
fun.
So
How
I'm very, very
cool.
excited about that, and incredible cast. Kelsey Grammer's in it.
Oh,
Jenna
that's
Jenna
cool. I
love
Kramer, Ben
him.
Hollingsworth.
Yeah.
So there's some great names.
Wow.
And they were all so kind, but the message is good. It's very faith based, which is so important to me.
Oh,
So
love
yeah.
that.
Love that. Well,
That's
everyone,
awesome.
keep an
Can't
eye
wait
out
to
for
see
the
it.
Christmas Ring and Broadway shows. Maybe you could be
Hope-
anywhere.
yes,
you could pop up on
hopefully
that
you'll
stage.
see me on the Broadway soon again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thanks for joining our stage here today at the Vocal Lab podcast, and stop by anytime.
Thank you for having
We
me.
had
Y'all are
fun.
the best, even Carlos.
Hey.
Even Carlos.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Vocal Lab podcast. Ready to join the top ranks of the music industry? Don't forget to follow and subscribe for more first-class conversations that make the extraordinary your new ordinary. Until next time, keep striving for your top note.